Our journey with Dr. O'Connor and vision therapy started 5/6/21. But before we found our way there, my daughter had been experiencing um, delays in school. But even prior to that, when she was real little, maybe just 15 months, she fell a lot, like to the point where we took her to the pediatrician and said, like, she's walking, but she's falling all the time. Like, she's just falling, and she just kept falling. They said nothing was wrong with her legs or anything, but she was just clumsy, we were told. And then later, she started growing up a little bit. We noticed she couldn't play any kind of sport, not catch the ball when she was little, not hit a ball when she was little, nothing. Like, the ball just seemed to evade her. Um, and it would, like, it was like she was trying to catch it slow, right? But we were like, oh, she's just not athletic. And then, so then she's in kindergarten and she's doing fine. But by second grade, the teacher was saying, even in first grade, the teacher was saying, oh, maybe she should be tested for ADHD because she has a hard time staying in her seat. She moves her legs in a strange manner sometimes, like rubbing her legs together. She's just not focused. So we were kind of like, oh, she's a kid, and it's first grade. So by second grade, we had a great teacher, and she said, I really think something is wrong with Zoe. Sorry, I keep hitting a button. And I think she's having some challenges for some reason. I don't know exactly what it is. It seems to be related to something visually. So she had her screened with someone who actually went through Erlin's, near Dr. O'Connor there, the Erlin's Institute there. And a screener diagnosed her, or at least recommended that we see someone to have her screened to see if Erlin's lenses would help. That is supposed to take some of the pressure, as I understand it, from reading and things because of the color in the glasses. So we did get screened, and we got her the Erlin's lenses, but we still were seeing this behavior where she was very frustrated with any kind of schoolwork. Her emotions were off the board. Like, she would just come home from school and start crying. She very impatient with us. We were getting frustrated with her. Like, she wouldn't sit down and do her homework. She kept wanting to get up. She it was like she had ants in her pants. And then if we forced her to read, she would wring her hands and move her legs and try to stand up. And it was like a whole, we thought she was developing tics. I mean, this poor girl had a world of hurt. You could just see it going on in her. But we couldn't figure out why she was so overwhelmed with, and it did seem like anything school related. So we thought she just hated school. So after the Erlins didn't seem to be, it did help a little bit with her, like, emotional, being able to read for more than, a minute. But because it wasn't helping as much as everyone hoped, um, Melissa and the Erlins there then directed us to get screened by Dr. O'Connor and his staff. And the world that Zoe was living in, presented itself to us. And she had a multitude of problems with her brain and her eyes teaming together, which I believe was, and there was many problems with Zoe, but where there was teaming problems with her brain and her eyes. She had limited vision on the sides of her head, which is why she could never catch anything. The teaming problem was making her brain like go on fire because her eyes and her brain were working so hard to stay focused on any kind of page or on even, anything visual. She was just in constant like turmoil. She never complained of headaches, but I really don't know if she was so little that maybe she didn't know what a headache was, and this was her world always. So she couldn't verbalize what she was experiencing because this is just how her world always was. So I think that's basically what she was experiencing. And then when we came to Dr. O'Connor and he explained to us based on all the tests that they did and the scans, and the testing of, you could see like where her eyes were like jumping from one word at the top of the paragraph to the bottom of the sheet and then back to the top. I mean, no wonder why this poor girl couldn't read like a sentence. She would be pulling other words up from the bottom of the page and inserting them, and mixing letters up, and she would write like in hieroglyphics because everything was a mess in my poor baby's brain. But the good news is, like, she is on the honor roll. She is still catching up with her reading level. I know. I never thought, like, I literally thought, like, she's just going to live at home forever and we're going to be fine. Like, I was just like, I was done. I was like, she's not meant to read. There's people that never read. She can sing or something. I don't know. But she's on their honor roll. She finished her first book this year. She never had read a book before this year. She finished a book and she was so proud.
Wow.
She worked, you know how she was. She worked her tail off though at the therapy. And at times I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she's doing this. But she did everything that you guys asked of her. And I think it was a credit to how you presented it to her at such a young age. This is like a little child having to wear the helmet and the glasses and follow the ball and walk the loop. And I mean, it was and the driving there and back. I mean, it was, I don't care. I'd do it again. If you said to me, she has her visit coming up on Thursday. And if you guys said to me, we need to do it all over again, don't say it, but I would be like, okay, because it was really like, it just changed everyone's life. Like, she's a joy. She's no longer mean, or she doesn't do any weird nothing. And she still struggles. She's not at her exactly where she's supposed to be at her reading level, but that's many years to catch up on. Like, that's a lot of years to catch up on that she wasn't able to read at all. So we're really proud of her. But like, I think right now she has like a 97 average in all her classes, like core and everything. Yeah. I'm going to bring her report card so you can see. And her writing is beautiful. Some of her spelling, not so much, but her printing it looks like a typewriter. I mean, before she was literally like huge letter T, capital, and then a tiny H, and then a huge E. I mean, because that's how she saw. So that's what she was writing. But now, and it looked like hieroglyphics, but now it's like beautiful. And I brought this is her. Can you see her?
How old is she?
She's only 11. She's 11 now, but she looks like a teenager in that picture, right? But I'm so proud of her, and I'm so thankful for you guys. And I don't know where I'd be if we didn't magically get to you somehow because of one good teacher. Just takes one good teacher or a good mom.
There you go.
Or a good dad or good grandmother. But you know what I mean. You need one person to get you to the right place, and then you're good.